This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Apparition Scents, an outdoor and sporting goods company based in Dilliner, Pennsylvania. All of their scents developed and hand bottled with strict attention being paid to every detail. Contact them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com. 100% lethal or your money back guaranteed. Get a hold of them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com.
Man, I tell you, the arrows have been slinging here in West Virginia. Opening bow season was just September the 30th, so we're in full swing here in West Virginia with bow season. We're here at the Breathe Wine and Culture Company in Cross Lanes, West Virginia this evening. Fireside doing a podcast. So we've got a lot of good things coming up for you this evening, and we're going to have an ad from our sponsors here real quick, and then we'll be right back with you. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Outdoor Pro Shop, LLC. Outdoor Pro Shop is a family-owned and operated firearms dealer and sporting goods retailer. They have pay-over-time options, a rewards program, and customer service satisfaction that is unmatched. They might not be the biggest, but they strive to be the best. Contact them today at 240-360-1298 or visit them on the web at www.outdoor-pro-shop.com. That's Outdoor Pro Shop, 240-360-1298. All right, guys, welcome to another segment here on the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Tonight, we're coming to you live from Fireside Podcast here at the Breathe Wine and Culture Company in Cross Lanes, West Virginia. We're trying to promote small businesses here in Cross Lanes, and this is a perfect place to do it in the fall.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I mean, you got the fire, and you got all this fall stuff coming in. We got bow season coming in, so this is perfect time for it.
And you got your wine and your beer here.
Yeah, all the craft breweries. They've got a ton of craft breweries in here.
They've got a great selection of wine and craft brewery.
Yep. So we've got a good lineup for you this evening. We've got special guest David Miller, owner of Appalachian Range, and Gerald Bennett, owner of Warhead Archery Company, Caleb Currents, Greenbrier Resort Guide, and longtime hunting buddy Luke Humphreys, along with Jason and Jackson Webb from HuntNex. So, starting off, we've got David Miller, owner of Appalachian Range, and he's the founder of that. So, David, how you doing, sir?
Man, doing awesome. How you guys?
We're doing good.
Doing great, man. This
good.
This is a great little atmosphere we got going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's awesome.
It's been a pleasant little venture so far, just getting to know, talking to everybody here, and being able to relax. And they've supplied us with some nice charcuterie boards and food. And
that's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to thank them for what they've done. I mean, they've done amazing with the setup and the food and all that stuff. So they've done a really good job.
We can't forget to mention the cider. I mean,
yeah. And Country Boy Brewing's doing a cider tasting this evening. So come on by if you want to have a tasting of that. But David, so tell us a little bit about Appalachian Range.
Man, Appalachian Range Outdoors, we started it, it's been about, I think, 7 years ago now, somewhere in that area. And, it started as a bunch of guys who love the outdoors, that love to hunt, fish. And the thing is, we started seeing a lot of division within the outdoors. A lot of people that were, just slamming each other, and there was people. You had lost the atmosphere of what we have here.
Yeah.
the hunt camp.
You got that right, yeah.
The connection, the camaraderie. And we were like, man, we need to bring that back together. So we started this group called Appalachian Range Outdoors to promote unity in the outdoors, to bring people back to the roots, and for people to enjoy it again for what they're supposed to enjoy it for.
Man, I tell you, that's awesome. You keeping the hunting heritage alive. That's what we all have the same passion to do right here within this group, and that's why we communicate so well with each other, I think, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
And so you're a biologist by degree, but most of your biology and stuff like that you've really learned in the woods, just spending the time with the animals and in nature.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
A lot of trial and error, you know. Learned a lot from Grant Woods, Jeff Sturgis, a lot of those guys watching their YouTube videos. But then, you know, translating that from them being in the Midwest or in the central part of the U.S., translating that to the mountains of West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's a pretty massive learning curve. You know,
I guarantee I'm sure of it.
Trying to plant something out in a field in Kansas and then on a strip job in southern West Virginia, let me just tell you, little bit of difference there.
Yeah, they've got good soil out there.
A lot of rock.
Yeah,
yeah, I say so.
So going back though, real quick, what kind of spread do you have with that? How far is your reach right now? Are you guys continuing to grow? I'm sure, obviously.
Yeah. There, you know, there's been some changes through. You know, we make some films. I made one called the Process of an Appalachian Bow Hunter. You can check it on YouTube.
Okay.
And I just recently made a new one about a elk hunt I just got back from in September in Idaho, and so. We're growing in a sense, but there have been some changes. I'm working on some films to inspire people to go into the outdoors with themselves and with families and other people for connection, deep sources of connection to So I'm working on 2 books.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and some films based off of that. So that'll be coming out soon. So you can find that on Appalachian Range on the YouTube channel. Yeah,
nice.
Man, y'all just really got ahead of everything we was doing there.
Well,
Dan just spit it out there, all out. He knows the talking points before I even print them out.
Hey, I'm right here, brother.
He's been doing this long enough. He just got it in his head.
Hey, I know where you're going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows where I'm going.
That's right.
Well, no, I mean, I was curious. I knew it was going to come to that, but I was curious on where how his reach is coming out and how it's getting broadcast out there. So I mean, obviously you got pretty good following on YouTube now.
Yes, things are going pretty good there. You know, I've worked on a couple. One project I was real proud of with Onyx Hunt Maps. Mm-hmm. It's called Appalachia. You know, I've always wanted to do a film that represented kind of our heritage of hunting in the mountains of West Virginia.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I got an opportunity to do that film with Onyx, and man, the guys that did that, Day 6 Outdoors and Land Media, man, those guys, Adam and Jacob just crushed it. So,
Awesome.
So now that went over all of our talking points, we have printouts.
Hey, it is what
so
it is.
Thanks for coming in, David.
Good being with you guys.
Talking way too fast.
That's awesome.
Slow it down, guys. Goodness gracious. The fire is not even going yet.
Yeah.
It's smoldering over there.
No.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the process of an Appalachian bow hunter.
That's a great question. So that is the story. When me and my wife, when we purchased our land in Boone County, West Virginia, it's going on 11 years ago, but for the first 2 years, we didn't see anything other than a couple does on the land.
Okay.
And I made this decision. I said, I'm going to learn the process of what it takes to grow a big deer in Boone County and a Rifle County in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So through trial and error, I would plant these strips of food plots. I did a ton of research on protein ratios and what deer truly need to reach every deer has a genetic potential.
Sure.
Right, they can grow to. But the thing is, I wanted to know what it took to make sure they were going to reach that potential. So within 5 years, I had several nice deer, and the 6th year going into us owning the land, I was able to raise and harvest the biggest whitetail ever taken with a bow in Boone County.
Oh, wow.
160 class, right?
174.
174.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Awesome. So
Nice.
going back on that, I know genetics plays a small part of it. It's really the proteins and the land that they're living on, correct?
So if you think about it like this, genetics is the ceiling.
Sure.
So you've got a genetic ceiling, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's a lot of factors, stress on the deer's body, stress during the wintertime, pressure of hunting, a lot of other things that can happen that have to be in the equation that can hinder that deer from reaching that ceiling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the thing is, I wanted to eliminate, we purchased not a giant piece of land, but we purchased 180 acres. It wasn't massive. The deer was going on other pieces of land.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wanted to take pressure completely away. I wanted to make sure they had every element they needed, where they didn't have to leave that land if they didn't want to, even though they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was making sure all the nutritional elements were there, make sure all the mineral elements were there. And a lot of people think, let me just throw this out there, a lot of people think minerals can grow like these huge horns. Well, the thing is, it's just like our body. What the minerals do, if the deer have the minerals they need and the elements in their body that they need, it can allow them to absorb the nutrients from the plants.
Okay.
Sure.
If they don't have all the minerals, they can't. They'll just process it through their waste.
Same as with a horse. I mean,
Same as with a horse, any other animal. Humans, always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I know
You got to have those macronutrients and all the minerals that they need.
I got my daughter a new horse. Well, it's not new now, but
You got two.
Now I got two horses, but hey, that's a whole other game there. But the first one I bought her, I went out and bought him a mineral block.
Yeah.
And he all day, every day, he was in that block, so I knew he was sufficient.
Yeah, had everything he
deficient.
needed.
He did, but he was getting what he needed.
Yeah.
And he really started coming around, and
awesome.
he started putting a little bit of weight on and starting to look really good.
Yeah. And one of the big things though I wanted people to see through that film was that it's awesome to go through the process of doing what we do in the outdoors to raise big deer or to whatever it is, or to turkey hunt or whatever. But the thing is, I wanted people to see that there are bigger things accomplished through the process, like in our lives and what being in the outdoors can work out. Just the sense of clarity in the world. Think about the crazy world we live in.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many distractions, and just our minds are just going so many different directions. Well, the outdoors, when you sit in that tree stand, or you go out in that morning and the sun's coming up and this turkey start to gobble, where is all that other stuff? It's nowhere around. Far away.
Right, absolutely.
So we need to make space for those times in the outdoors and in creation. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's what that movie kind of points to that a little bit.
Yeah. It's we get caught up in the the kill.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than that.
The process has way more.
And that's what I loved about that. You titled that perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a process.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. All right, so a little bit more about the books.
Yep, that's where I was getting ready to go. I was just making sure you wanted to hit.
Yeah,
more on that.
see, that's why we do this.
Yeah, see, we're like ESP. Over
you
here
have
right
you
now.
have written a couple before, right? Or was in the process?
I have written 6 short, what I would call kind of short stories.
Like we were talking upstairs, we've met a couple times, but I've never really got the chance to sit down and talk to him. So
Right on.
I was searching this man up on Facebook, and I was looking at all his stuff, trying to figure out, his accomplishments and things that he's done, because I heard about that buck.
We're working on the books. I've got 6 of these mini stories done.
Poor Dave.
And I'll probably
He needs
compile.
them short ones.
That was dirty. That was a cheap shot.
It was.
No, see, I'm really happy right now because it's usually me. That's
Usually
getting-
you? Yeah.
Mike's safe tonight, Dave.
I'm safe.
Dave stirred my pudding a little bit. Hey,
Well, these books they'll have films with them also to
wow.
complement. It'll be sort of like a story, and then it'll have a film to show with the story.
Okay.
But they'll be on Amazon.
Awesome.
There'll be several different platforms. I've got a guy out of Columbus that's going to be producing a lot of those.
Okay.
sweet.
Good deal.
And so it's that should be coming within the year. I'll say that. That's
okay,
realistic.
wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, keep
That'll
us
be sweet.
updated on
Yeah,
those and when
definitely.
those come out. And
I will.
After those are released, we'll have you back on to tell about those.
Would love to rock and roll. Yeah.
All right, David. Well, we appreciate you coming on this evening. We know you got to get somewhere else, and we didn't want to take up too much of your time. But it was great talking to you, picking your brain about your time in the outdoors and the process of an Appalachian hunter. So we appreciate you, sir.
Great being with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Hope you had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. We'll be right back with another guest as soon as you have a word from our sponsors.
Episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Trout Routes. Trout Routes is a premier fishing app that strives to empower trout anglers with information to help you go further and discover new waters, new places, and new faces. Check them out at troutroutes.com. Trout Routes is proud to be able to connect you to local resources and experts, such as fly shops, guides, local brands, and nonprofits. Be sure to check them out at troutroutes.com or the Apple App Store and Google Play Store to download the app today.